My dad's out of the house, which means I get to film a YouTube video. Hi guys, my name is Catherine, and today I'm going to be filming probably the perfect tag for me, the books and makeup tag, because I love books, I love makeup. You can't tell right now because I have nothing on my face, and we're going to jump into it. There's a bunch of book related questions paired up with different makeup related items. I will say I'm filming on a new camera that I haven't filmed on before, so we're going to see how it all goes. We're just going to try. So the only thing I've done for my face so far is I rinsed it with water. I'm going to go in with my moisturizer. I've been using the Drunk Elephant polypeptide moisturizer. Oh, I don't have a mirror, but I consider moisturizer to kind of be step one of my priming routine, because even though I have oily skin, it's really important for me to make sure my skin is nice and moisturized to help make sure everything is balanced out. And then the actual primer I'm going to use is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. The question for this is pick a book that left a lasting impression on you. For this, I'm going to kind of choose a random answer, and that's going to be Going Bovine by Libba Bray. This is a book I read in, I want to say middle school, and it's a book to this day that I still look back on really fondly, and I keep wanting to reread it, but I'm really nervous it's gonna like not live up to my prior experiences of it. It's like it's gonna taint it. But I think it left a lasting impression on me, because while Harry Potter definitely turned me into the reader that I am today, I think Going Bovine was one of the first bigger books I remember reading and remember really loving. It's about this boy who contracts mad cow disease, and he has to go on this epic adventure in order to like stop this like evil person from essentially destroying the world. And throughout the entire novel you get flashes to him in the hospital, but you also are following the main storyline of him going on this adventure, and you can never quite tell if what is happening on the adventure is the real what's actually happening, or him being sick in the hospital is what's really happening, and it's just him having like these fever dreams almost. But I remember super loving it. It's a book that to this day I still own my original copy of, and I just love that book so much, and it brings back fond memories. The next question is for foundation. The book question is favorite first book in a series. And for my foundation, I don't really use foundation. I use this It Cosmetics CC Cream. And for favorite first book in a series, this is hard, because I find with most series as I read, I really love the first book in it. And I'm just applying this, by the way, with like a very excessively large Real Technique sponge. I'm trying not to do a cop-out answer and say the first Harry Potter, because I mean obviously Harry Potter is one of my favorite series of all time, but I don't want to just choose the easy answers. But for this, I think I'm gonna go with The Diviners by Libba Bray. It's a book I finally read this year after meaning to read it for the longest time, and it follows these teenagers who have these magical abilities in New York City in 1920s as they're trying to like fight this evil ghost who's like killing people. Alright, so I just had to politely ask my dog to stop barking, so I have no idea where it was. But I loved the first book in The Diviners. It's so incredible. The audiobook is fantastic. The narration by January LaVoy is like untouchable. I just remember reading it and being so immersed and so in love with all of the characters, and immediately wanting to read the rest of them. It was so fantastic. So I probably would have to go with The Diviners. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm washing this off when I'm done with this. So the next question is concealer, and that is pick some characters you wish didn't exist. I'm going to use my Glossier Stretch Concealer. But this is tricky because I don't know of any characters like off the top of my head that I really dislike. Like I can say evil characters that give some of my favorite characters like a hard time. Like I could say Voldemort, obviously, or Umbridge from Harry Potter. But in terms of a character that I just like didn't enjoy and really didn't understand why they were there. Oh, you know who I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say Lynn Audrey from the Lunar Chronicles. She is prominent in the first book. She is Cinder's stepmother in the first book. And even though I know it's supposed to be a retelling of the original fairy tale of Cinderella, Lynn Audrey makes me so irrationally angry seeing how she treats Cinder that I'm willing to like sacrifice the entire novel just to make sure she disappears. I'm gonna say that character, Lynn Audrey, because she makes me so angry. The next question is blush. Pick a book with a cringeworthy romance. And yes, I know I do my makeup out of order for most people. The person I'm doing, following along with their like blog post, did eyeliner after foundation, so really, who can you trust in these day and ages? But for cringeworthy romance, this by the way is the Milk Makeup Blush Stick and Perk. I'm gonna go with The Romance in A Boy Worth Knowing. So the book is by Jennifer Cosgrove and the two main characters are Nate and James. But this book was 100% one of those very stereotypical YA romances where it's like the mysterious person comes into town and the loner is in love with them but is convinced nobody could love them back, and then they end up falling in love, but it has like a supernatural twist that had no bearings on the entire novel, it felt like. But their romance was just so weird. It was so insta-lovey and it was like never fully developed, and so I never really enjoyed it, and it just always felt like I felt itchy reading it. The next question is Powder, and that is pick your favorite last book in the series. Tony Moly, Kitty Wink's Face Powder. But for this question, I'm going to go with Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I did really enjoy A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the last book in the ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J Maas. I did really enjoy that as well. But I'm going to go with, this is like brain power having to do this and put makeup on at the same time. I'm going to go with Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, because I've read it more recently and it's more fresh in my mind. But I loved how that book ended, everything that happened, kind of how everything wasn't perfect at the end, but it felt really complete. So I'm going to go with that one. And that's funny because that's a series that I was like convinced I wasn't going to like. I like DNF'd the first book or the second book back in 2017, and I ended up really loving the last two. So the next question is highlight, pick a book that brightens your day. This is hard. I tend to read a lot of like angry fantasy novels. I think I'm gonna go with Birthday by Meredith Russo, which if you've read this book, you might be like, Catherine, why are you choosing Birthday by Meredith Russo? That is hardly like a heartwarming, pleasant, fun novel to read. But I think the ending of it for me really sold it on a book that just made me so happy. Seeing that despite all the struggle that these characters went through, they're still able to kind of have their happy ending was worth all the pain and suffering as readers you go through reading that book. Oh, I got something in my eye. The next question is eyebrows. Pick a book that you think everyone should read. For eyebrows, I'm pretty low-key with my eyebrows. I tend to just use a tinted brow gel. This one is from ColourPop. But for a book I think everyone should read, I'm gonna be the basic bitch and say Six of Crows. I just think Six of Crows is such a fantastic novel, and I have foisted it on everybody that I can, and it doesn't always work for everyone. I just loved it so much. I love all the characters so much. I love the plot line and the multiple perspective. I just think, I don't know, I don't understand people who read it and don't fall in love with the world and the characters. So if you're one of the 3 people who haven't read Six of Crows, you should read Six of Crows. The next question is eyeshadow. Pick a book with your favorite colors on the cover, which for this I'm gonna have to put my glasses on and like look around. My favorite colors are kind of weird, by the way. I like jewel tones, like I love rubies and emerald and those kind of darker tones, but I also really like yellow, hence the color of my shirt. So I pulled 2, one that kind of fulfills my like jewel tone color love. This is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. Haven't read it, heard some mixed things about it, we'll see. And then for my like orangey yellow favorite, I picked Prior of the Orange Tree, another book I haven't read yet, but we'll see. Also, this has something sticking out of it. No idea what it is. For eyeshadow, I'm just going to be using this Honey eyeshadow palette from ColourPop. It's in yellows, and it seemed fun. Let me just do something real quick because I don't want to take forever on this. So that's that. Next question is eyeliner. Pick a dark and mysterious book, which ironically for dark and mysterious, I'm going to be using a bronzy color eyeliner because I don't have a black in my immediate vicinity. But for a dark mysterious book, I could pick like The Diviners or Lair of Dream by Libba Bray. I also really liked Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. That one is pretty dark and mysterious. But I'll probably go with The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw because I haven't mentioned that one yet. That is about this town where like every year, these like 3 witches embody local girls and like drown boys, and it's super atmospheric. It takes place in this, I think it's Maine or Oregon. It's one of the 2. They're very similar. So that's eyeliner, my bronzy eyeliner. This, by the way, is the Marc Jacobs eyeliner in Sunset. The next question is mascara. Pick a long book. So I did already show you, I don't know if you can see it from here, Prior of the Orange Tree. Can you see that? I can't see anything. So I said Prior of the Orange Tree. I also could pick Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings. This is the first book in the Stormlight Archives. I haven't read this book because I'm so intimidated by it, but I do own it. But it is probably the longest book I own. It is, how many pages is this? It is over 1,000. It is over 1,000 pages long. It is 1,001 pages long. So, long book. For mascara, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I would curl my lashes, but I'm too lazy, and to be honest, for me it doesn't make a huge difference because my lashes are pretty okay. Cool. Mascara done. The last question is for lipstick, and it's to pick your favorite book kiss. I don't wear a lot of lipstick, but I really love this Water Tint by Perry Para. This is in the shade Apple. But for favorite book kiss, favorite book kiss. I don't know. I don't tend to read a lot of books with a romance, so picking a book kiss is kind of hard. You know what kiss I'm gonna pick? I just read Heartstopper Volume 2, and there's a kiss in that book that is so cute. And like all of the kisses in that book are super cute because Heartstopper follows Nick and Charlie, who are just like trying to like figure stuff out, and it's so precious and I love them. They're like my little precious soft boys, and all of their kisses are super, like, I just want to like give them a hug. So I'm gonna pick the kisses from that. But that is my full face of makeup. I have no idea how this looks, so I hope it looks okay. That's gonna be it for me, you guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.